The fourth chapter of class 10 is agriculture, and here we will see about the Indian agriculture in detail. India is an agriculturally important country. We all know that the main primary occupation of India is agriculture. Agriculture produces most of the food that we consume. It also produces raw materials for various industries. For example, cotton is grown in the agricultural fields and it's a raw material for the cotton textile industry. Did you know India is the second in the world in the crop output next to China? The same rank is there for the population too. We are second in population following the China and also in the agriculture. 1.4 million square kilometer of land in India is under cultivation. Agriculture is India's biggest economic sector and employs about 52.1% of the total workforce. Two-thirds of its population is engaged in agricultural activities. Over several hundred years, cultivation methods in India have changed significantly, depending upon the characteristics of the physical environment, technological know-how, and socio-cultural practices. Farming varies from subsistence to commercial farming. At present, in different parts of India, the following farming systems are practiced. Number 1, primitive subsistence farming. Number 2, intensive subsistence farming. And number 3, commercial farming. Do you know agriculture is the largest livelihood provider in India? The first type of farming is the primitive subsistence farming. This type of farming is still practiced in few places in India. It is practiced on small patches with the help of the primitive tools like hoe, and digging sticks. The family work as a group or the community work together in these farms. This type of farming depends mainly on the monsoon rains. Natural fertility of the soil and the suitability of other environmental conditions are helpful for the cultivation of the crops. It is also called as slash and burn cultivation. Farmers clear a patch of land and produce crops to sustain their family. When soil fertility decreases in those areas, the farmers shift and start cultivating in the same way on a fresh patch of the land. This allows nature to renew the fertility of the soil. Productivity in this type of farming is low as fertilizers or modern inputs are not used. We have already seen that primitive subsistence farming is also called as slash and burn. This slash and burn is called by different names in different parts of India. In each state they call it by different names. For example, in northeastern states of India they call it as Juhoming, and in Manipur Pamlau, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands they call it Deepa. In Andhra Pradesh is Podu or Penda. In Rajasthan it's called as Valter or Voltaire. In Jharkhand it is called as Kurwa. All the other names are given there. You can see, learn from there. Same way in different countries also the slash and burn is called by different names. For example, in Mexico or Central America it is called as milpa. In Brazil it is called as roca. In Indonesia it's called as ladang. In Vietnam it's called as ray. Likewise it is called by different names in different countries. The second type of farming is the intensive subsistence farming. This type of farming is practiced in areas of high population pressure on the land. It is a labor intensive farming where high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for obtaining higher production. Though the right of inheritance leading to the division of land among successive generations has rendered landholding size uneconomical. Means a father divides his property among his sons and daughters. A farm of 10 acres or 20 acres is divided among the children and it becomes 2 acres or 3 acres. So it becomes uneconomical. The farmers continue to take maximum output from the limited land in the absence of alternative source of livelihood. Thus, there is an enormous pressure on the agricultural land. Do you know 12% of world's farmland is in India? And here we are doing the intensive subsistence farming which enables us to fulfill our food need for our population. The third type of farming is the commercial farming. In this type of farming, higher doses of modern inputs like HYV seeds, that is high yielding variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides are used in order to obtain higher productivity. The degree of commercialization varies from region to region. For example, rice is a commercial crop on Punjab and Haryana because they have it in surplus, so they start selling it to the other states or to the other countries. So it becomes a commercial crop in Punjab and Haryana. But in Orissa, it is a subsistence crop. So in the state of Orissa, whatever they are cultivating, that is enough for them. It's not a surplus. So there it becomes a subsistence crop. But in Punjab and Haryana, due to the surplus production of the rice becomes a commercial crop. Plantation is a type of commercial farming. It is a type of farming in which a single crop is grown on a large area. The plantation has an interface of agriculture and industry. They are used as a raw material in the industry. Plantations use capital intensive inputs with the help of migrant laborers. All the products is used as a raw material in respective industries. For example, tea plantations in Assam and North Bengal, coffee plantations in Karnataka, banana plantations in southern part of India, rubber plantations in Kerala, bamboo plantations in northeast India are some important plantation crops grown in India. Since the production is mainly for market, a well-developed network of transport and communication connecting the plantation growing areas, processing industries and market is present. Next we are going to see the cropping patterns of India. India has 3 cropping patterns. They are Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Let us now see about the first cropping season, Rabi. It is sown in winter from October to December and harvested in summer from April to June. The important crops which are grown in this season are wheat, barley, peas, that is a green peas, grams and mustard. States like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand and Western Uttar Pradesh are main Rabi crop producing states. The availability of precipitation during the winter months due to the western temperate cyclones, that is the western cyclonic disturbance, help in the success of these crops. The success of green revolution in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, and parts of Rajasthan has also been an important factor in the growth of rabi crops. The second cropping season is the Kharif season. Here, the crops are sown with the onset of monsoon in the different parts of the country and harvested in September and October. Onset of monsoon is June, July and harvested in the month of September and October. The important crops which are grown in this season are paddy, that is the rice, maize, jowar, bajra, tur, also called as arhar, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut and soya beans. Some of the most important rice growing regions are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra. Particularly the Konkan coast along with the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Recently, paddy has also become an important crop of Punjab and Haryana after the Green Revolution. They are the leading states of growing rice. In states like Assam, West Bengal and Orissa, 3 crops of paddy are grown in a year and are called as Haus, Aman and Boro. The last cropping season is the Zaid season. It is a short season between Rabi and Kharif. During the summer months, or you can say the beginning of summer months, we cultivate crops like watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops which grows for a shorter or a limited period of time. So this is called as Zaid crops. With this we come to an end of this video and we can continue this lesson in the next video. Thank you.